guys, welcome to Co-Parenting the Narcissist 101. I'm Kate. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to hit the bell so you know when I upload more videos. Alright guys, today we're going to talk about what the narcissist means. The maladaptive behavior of a narcissist and how that affects what you see and what they actually are feeling. This can be while you were still married with them or in a relationship with them or, and afterwards. So before we go into let's talk about, I'm sure you probably have heard how this, the narcissist is maladaptive. Maladaptive behavior is usually, or in not usually, but in a layman's term, is pretty much a behavior that a person uses to react or respond or to adjust the situation. But usually that behavior is not effective. That is a response, and a behavior that a person exhibit to react or adjust to a situation, in an effort to fix whatever the situation is. But most of the time is never really effective because it's not done correctly. But this obviously can result from childhood, how they were raised, the golden child and the scapegoat child, where the kids never really in both situations it have picked up a behavior to adjust to what's going on, or they never really learn how to regulate their emotions on their own. So and this, when this kind of behavior, the maladaptive behaviors, can be in the form of anger and shouting and the throwing things, throwing temper tantrums or trying to beat up people, so, and usually it's kind of like when they react, it's like they are reacting from like an autopilot. Sometimes it's just the body seems like that's how, or their mind goes straight to that's how they feel, or they need the best course of action in any situation. Of course it never really turns out right. So I was describing, I wanted to define this first because this is definitely gonna affect, as you're dealing with these people, what you see or what is actually going on, might be going on in their mind. So usually, okay, let's start with yelling. A narcissist that start yelling, and usually, let's say you are in I don't know, people came to visit you guys, everybody's laughing, joking, or maybe you guys trying to fix them something to eat or whatever it is, and then you go, the narcissist might show up come straight to you and say something, pick up a fight or whatever. I'm maybe not a fight, but just pick up some kind of something to yell about, something that is not even, for normal people it could wait, but it just grab that so that they can kind of, the focus will shift up to them. So when they do this, usually what that means is, see me, they're feeling ignored, they're feeling invisible. So with the people there, so they're gonna do something to direct attention to them. So you obviously are confused about, okay, why are you yelling about this stuff? This had nothing to do with what's going on. But that's what they do, and of course it happens to them. They feel that they yell, all attention will be on them, and then which people start paying at, okay, what is going on, but not in the way they want it to be. You're looking at them as, what is going on, not, oh, okay, now we see you, we acknowledge you and all that, but because that's what they're going for. But obviously that's not how it turns out, for other people, because that's not how you're looking at them. Next one is anxious, and this, I swear to God, every time it's like you're going to the airport or vacation, which ends up ruin everything because you're tensed. So they're anxious. Normal person would be like, okay, all right. I mean, people going to the airport, they're like, okay, I'm running late, I might be late or whatever, and it doesn't matter with it's the narcissist anyway that I was with. So you could be there and panicking about, the anxious about whatever. Normal person, like I said, would be like, oh, okay, never mind, I have like an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, we'll make it, we're good on time, we'll get there. No, normally the response to this, either they start making comments or they start yelling at the kids, or they, next thing you know, they abruptly walk away from you or give you a silent treatment at the airport. And this happens at the airport, when you get to the vacation. So of course everything is ruined because you're like confused. Of course you're confused about why you panicking. We have 2.5 hours. But yeah, but instead of like a normal person would be like, okay, I'm gonna make this okay for myself. Oh, we're good, we're fine. No, they will do that, and what they're saying, what it is that I'm anxious and I don't know how to fix the problem. That's exactly, I'm anxious, that's, they're panicking, but they're going to tell you that. But this is how, exactly how it will come across, is them yelling, walking away from you guys, giving you and the kids a silent treatment. That's exactly how it come out. Or let's say you do something for the kids, and you kind of, you're co-parenting, you emailed them or whatever, send them a message, oh, I did this and this, because maybe whatever information might be needed for them to know it or whatever, and you inform them. They're not gonna come back with good job like a normal person. All right, fine, okay, I got it, thanks. No, because what they'll get in that message, that obviously if you're doing the limited contact where it's strictly about the kids, you don't do anything else, your message is going to come across strictly about the kids. And this of course will make them feel invisible. It will make them feel like they're losing control. Obviously they're losing, they're not being acknowledged, that you're not seeing them. So what would they do? They will leave whatever it is that you wrote in the message and pretty much goes attack you. They're either trying to criticize whatever it is you did, or they put you down. They find a way to leave whatever was in the message to attack you personally. Of course, trying to get you to engage, because when I engage, you acknowledge them, they exist, I still have some control over what you're doing. Okay, I'm not invisible. That's what that is. So, or whatever, you do something for the kids, they criticize anything, because it could be out of fear as well. They're feeling insecure, they're feeling useless. It's like, okay, you're doing these things without me. Where am I in this? So let me do something. And then it'll come across to you as criticism. It come across you as letdowns or put downs or whatever it is. And of course you're confused because whatever you wrote there does not warrant whatever it is they're saying. But this is what's going on in their head, and that's what this is how it comes out to you. Or maybe they put a disappearing act on the kids, you and the kids. They don't come to see the kids when they're supposed to see the kids, or whatever. This, of course, they think is like a punishment supposedly to you for maybe them feeling insecure. Maybe you're talking about the kids a lot, or you mentioned, come and see the kids need this or the kids need that, something you have put in the kids. So you guys will probably know that they're envious of the children by now. You have to know this by now. So you putting the kids off, they need this, they need that, they need this, they need that, and they cannot ghost you guys, because to them it would feel like, okay, if I disappear, it will show that I missed, because maybe you start looking or trying to find out, okay, where are you? You're supposed to be here. Where are you supposed to be here? This in turn, of course, makes them feel acknowledged. They're not feeling invisible. So it's not about the kids, like you've been saying, the kids, it means I matter. This is what they are trying to convey to you. So they pull a disappearing act. Of course, like every other thing I've listed here, the behavior, like I said, is maladaptive because it doesn't really get the message that they think it will send. It doesn't send the message that, that they are planning, they assume that that's what it's going to send them, that, you see them, you acknowledge them, and no, because what it ends up doing for you is you looking at them crazy. What the hell is going on with you? Why are you doing what you're doing? But to them, they feel like if I respond this way, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Now, somehow there's some kind of balance to this change in atmosphere. Somehow I'm not scared anymore. They acknowledge me. I'm not scared that I'm not invisible. I'm not anxious. This is going to fix everything. instead of telling you exactly, I'm scared, which that's exactly, the narcissist, that's exactly what they're feeling. These are shame-based, fear-based individuals. So that's this all is going on within in the mind, but outwardly, this is how it will show. They feel invisible. They're going to start yelling. They're going to start throwing things. They're going to start throwing temper tantrums. They feel like they're ignored. They're going to start throwing things. They feel like they're out of control. They're not in control of the situation. They're not heard. You're not acknowledging them. You're not seeing them. They're going to throw in however insult they're going to throw at you. They're going to hit below the belt with whatever it is, because you responding means that, oh, good, yes, at least, yeah, he or she knows I'm here. It's not about the kids anymore. Or you talk about the kids so much, they will ghost you and the kids. They will, give you the silent treatment, run away disappear for 2 weeks. Because in their head, you will look for me. And if you look for me, it means that the punishment, quote, punishment I sent by being away worked, because now I'm not invisible. I don't feel useless. I'm useful, because that's why you're looking for me, because I am useful, So I know it's weird, but that's exactly how it's going down. So that's why the worst thing you can do, to a narcissist is to be indifferent. If you're being different, it means I don't acknowledge you beyond these kids. That's it. Because I don't have whatever it is. Like, you don't hate them, you don't love them, you don't like them. It doesn't matter to you. Like, he's like whatever. You're good, fine. You're bad, okay, that's fine too. So that's why that is probably the worst thing you do to them, is like, you don't even register in the radar around me for me to acknowledge you outside of this link that we have here. So that's why the more you shift away from limited contact, you focus on just that point, those kids. If it's not about the kids, you don't talk about it, you don't acknowledge any insult, you don't acknowledge anything that doesn't involve the kids, the crazier they get, because like I said, they are reacting to the fear, they are reacting to the insecurity, they are reacting to the how invisible they feel. They're scared that they're not being seen, they're not being acknowledged. So they're gonna do all this stuff, all these maladaptive behaviors, because they think if I do this, it will fix the situation, it will make them acknowledge me. Because if you respond, engage to them, it feel like it worked. Of course, they don't know that, or they probably do know that it didn't work, because you acknowledging them, you're wondering what the hell they are saying, what they're saying that doesn't make any sense. So whenever you choose not to engage them and don't react to bullshit anymore, you see they are gravely wounded. You're not injured, and they go off the handle even more. But when they don't get anything out of you, it kind of leave you alone for a little bit, because you injured them. So that's why the most you can do to a narcissist to hurt them is to be indifferent to them. You be indifferent, because once you realize that all the yelling, temper tantrums, hitting the below the belt insults, whatever it is they're doing, disappearing on the kids, stop paying the child support, don't do this, don't do that, all of that stems from insecurity, fear, feel like invisible. That's where all that negative energy is coming from. And that's why I say that, you guys know, it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better, because this is how they're like on autopilot. This is how they react to these things that happen. This is how they react to those things. So it doesn't get any better. Rather, that it gets worse. And it gets worse because they take whatever it is they learn from you, they get better at reacting negatively to these things again, So they go from maybe like the narcissist here went from hitting on the doors when he's calling you and you're not answering, and a normal person would be like, okay, maybe they didn't hear me, or let me go. No, a narcissist will feel like you ignored them, or you intentional of yours to not trying to answer them. So they go banging on the doors or hitting walls or whatever. He've graduated from that to actually physically now hitting the new supply. You see, so it gets worse. They take whatever they learn from you and enhance, if you will, the negative, or the negative behavior, negative reactions to these things. So that's why expecting them to do better, or the thinking that they do better with the new supply, is not really going to happen, because this is maladaptive. It's kind of it's their autopilot. That's how they react. That's how the mind tells them to react. That's how they react to every other situations. So they're not going to automatically be like, oh wait, no, I shouldn't be yelling. Maybe I should. Hold on, let me think. Let me pause a little bit here and think. Okay, so everything's going to be okay. I don't need to shout. I don't need to yell. Let me sit down quietly. No, that's not going to happen, because the mind, on autopilot, immediately reacts to all these behaviors, because that's how the mind feels that they need to adjust to whatever imbalance they feel that has happened. So it doesn't get any better. It's maladaptive behavior. It doesn't get any better. All right, guys. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And of course, get your mind right. Get your mind together. And everything else will fall into place. I will see you in the next video.